First they think you're crazy, then they fight you, and then all of a sudden you change the world.
What do you want to be when you grow up? Teacher? Musician? Doctor? I hate to tell you this, but like 99% of people, you are a copycat. You're in this world because of your parents who want you to go to school, have a college degree, and work till you die. The problem is most people don't want to hear what their brain has to say. 99% of people are doing the same thing. They're applying for jobs after struggling for grades in college. And you're about to do the same thing until now.
We become what we think about most of the time. And that's the strangest secret. This is why thinking is so vital. This is why a goal is so important. Because we will become that.
This person was a mastermind explaining what you have to do first, in the very beginning. His name was Earl Nightingale, and he was an American speaker and author. He was one of the few people who explained the reality. It was a bright day in the year 1957 when Earl bought a small life insurance company, ensuring its success by giving motivational and inspirational speeches. Considering this small thought in his mind that says, "Who's going to remember me when I'm gone?" he recorded the strangest secret that could be played during his absence. It was later found to be his biggest success, as this recording sold 1 million times in a row, achieving the gold record status. He mentioned in his recording that when an interviewer asked a great doctor, Albert Schweitzer, what was wrong with this society, he mentioned the fact that men simply don't think.
I think it's good to remember that if we just go along with the crowd, we won't wind up with much more than the wish that we could do it all over again, and as far as we know, you can't. If we want to amount to anything as individuals, we need individual goals, individual thinking, individual actions, and we must never conform to the big group.
I did my observations and found out that over 50% of the world's population always follows another footprint that lies ahead of them without knowing the consequences of their choice. Those who make a lot of money are often recognized as arrogant and selfish, but do not know the fact that you have to be one to save your time, energy, and money. These things do not come in a year or two. It takes decades to achieve that one goal in your mind. That's why 99% of the people quit. People who are not going anywhere measure in days. People who are working measures in months. And those who worked hard measures in years. But there is going to be one person who measures everything in decades. It's something we often call a red behavior in psychology. They are the real alpha, and when they walk into a room, people always avoid them. It's a pattern of psychology that makes them this powerful. They are the ones who work for their future and measure their success in decades. There is no end. You can imagine as long as you're alive and create things you like. If you want to do a task, do it with all your power. Imagine your brain is like the universe. It's vast. The only thing you have to do to imagine things is to imagine that right now and make this like a treasure hunt. Imagine yourself as a pirate who explores the world in search of treasure. You're going to see a lot of things, some good, some bad. You're going to have a lot of thoughts. People just see others and act without making their own decisions. You don't know what is happening in another person's life. If we take 100 men from the United States and tell them the secrets of making money, 1 will be rich, 10 will be financially free, and 89 will be poor. Why? Because they don't think. It is commonly mentioned by our elders that listen to those who are older than you. But should you? Every person makes some mistakes and some wrong decisions. That doesn't mean that you should listen to them 24/7. At the end of the day, you have to fight all of your battles for yourself. Nobody's coming to save you. Even a businessman who is an expert in sales thinks a lot before going into a sales call. A content creator always thinks a lot before making any content. People out there make strategies for wars so that they can see another day. You're not going to do it unless it's necessary for you in your mind. What you can do now is think of a way to make your smallest dream come true. Then do it with other small dreams. Then step by step, do it with big dreams. That way, you can secure the steps. If you fail in any of these steps, considering failure as a part of the plan, think hard and do it again. If you worry about time, remember that time isn't real anymore. You stop when the work is done, and you begin to work until you are so sleepy that you can't even stand on your own 2 feet. He was once broke too, and his start was worse than anybody. KFCs for birthdays, broken cars, couldn't even pay the rent. But there was a creative and technical mind behind his every success. His mind that made him think about could he afford to live like this? How can he break the chains of humiliation, poverty, and broken minds? 10-Step Method for 30 Days by Earl Nightingale. It's not going to be easy, nor hard. I want you to try this 10-step method as an experiment. If it works, it's your benefit. If it doesn't, well, what you got to lose? I want you to set a definite and clearly defined goal for yourself. To let your marvelous mind think about your goals from all possible angles. To let your imagination speculate freely upon many different possible solutions. To refuse to believe there are any circumstances sufficiently strong to defeat you in the accomplishment of your purpose. To act promptly and decisively when your course is clear, and to keep constantly aware of the fact that you are, at this moment, standing in the middle of your acre of diamonds. Save at least 10% of what you earn. No matter what you do, whether you're a McDonald's worker or a Starbucks cashier, if you're willing to do these things, the possibilities are endless. The results of these are: 1. You will become what you think about. 2. Remember the word imagination. Let your mind soar. 3. Courage. Concentrate on your goal every day. 4th, save 10% of what you earn. And action. Ideas are worthless unless we act on them. These things will impact your life as a hammer on the sculpture. And as always, we become what we think about, most of the time. And that's the strangest secret. That's why thinking is so vital. That is why our goal is so important, because we will become that.